What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I was gonna probably put this on the Lions Den podcast channel, but because it's not gonna have to do anything with Christianity, figured I'll probably put it on the main channel. Might as well. So I'm here with
Howdy Abdel
What's Sam Bolsi?
in the building.
yeah. So if you can see behind me, I finally got my 1 million subscriber plaque. Thanks to you guys, I appreciate it. It's kind of crazy seeing that. 1 million is wild. And I hit it. My end goal was to hit it, I think, last year, and we ended up hitting it. So it's kind of crazy. So I figured, in honor of that, we could do some sort of video where I don't know. We've been talking a lot behind the scenes about like the fitness industry overall in general, and since I've started social media, it's changed quite a bit. So I don't know. I figured we could give our journey of it in a way, what we've experienced, what we've learned, what we've seen in the industry, what we think, our opinions on it as it's moving forward and how it's changing. I feel like we have a lot that we could talk about. So honestly, to start, what should we do to start? Like go over.
It's just not as fun.
Yeah.
It's just
Do we just start with
nowhere
why
near.
we don't like it first, or where it's going?
Yeah.
Do we all agree on that? Not that we
Yeah.
don't like it, but it's changing.
No,
Like
I enjoy it. I think it's a very saturated world now where
everyone has a camera.
which I wouldn't say is an issue, but I think everybody is just a trend follower. So you get to the point of everybody's making the same things over and over again. You can only post so many workouts on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? There's
Very
now
saturated. Now
it's
with
a
that.
very saturated industry, so it's difficult to be different. I think your personality has to shine through.
I think a big thing to mention is the motives have changed. When we started, it wasn't about the money, the lifestyle. I didn't even know that there was money in it like that. I didn't know that it could change my entire life for the rest of my life. Like, I did it because I enjoyed working out. My manager at the job I was working at like told me I should go film my workouts, and I did it. TikTok was around at this time. It was COVID. I was having fun with it. We built a little community on Gym Talk back when it was just like us and a few other creators, and it was fun. And we did it for fun, and then it ended up growing into something where it became like a job, like a thing that could, provide us for the rest of our life, like financially and all that stuff, and became like, more of that. And I think we still had fun with it though at the same time. It wasn't even like a job, but we were all just having fun. But I feel like a lot of these kids or whatnot, upcoming people saw the life that we were living, all like going to LA, like hanging with Brad, like getting the dream car, whatever it may be. And I think their motives were like, I want to live that life. And then that's what kind of propelled them to create content, which is like, I think that's not a good motive. If you're trying to get into it just because like you're trying to make
there's some
a
bread.
bag,
There's some
or
bread
like
in this.
clout, you want clout like that, it's not gonna like last. I think the reason why we got so successful is because the motive was just we were having fun doing it at the start.
Yeah, there was no sustainability. There's no sustainability in looking at something for money. You got to look at it for longevity. I think a lot of people make content nowadays. At least when I don't scroll as nearly as much as I used to. But when I do scroll, it just seems like for the most part people are just trying to find ways to go viral. So like, what can I do that's out of pocket that's gonna make me go viral? But I think for anybody listening that kind of wants to do this or is doing this, there's no longevity in that. There's no sustainability in that. The only way you can sustain a career or a lifelong thing in this is by making an impact on people. And the only way to make an impact on people is to create content that, may not go viral for a long period of time for enough people to catch on, to like kind of to ride the wave. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when we were making content, especially in the beginning on TikTok, I used to sit in my car and like do speeches, just like talk to people.
Yeah.
And sometimes people fried me for that. They're like, "Oh, this is cringe," whatever. But I knew that I was kind of building a community through that, and then constantly targeting that community and building it up to the point where the people like you enough to rock with you for the long run.
To support you and everything.
Yeah.
And I think the virality, it doesn't mean you'll build a community. Like, you can have tens of millions of views on senseless videos, and that's a lot of the shit we see nowadays is all these kids are just looking for clicks and clout and what's popping here, what's popping there, but that's not going to build you the community that you're looking for.
You need to look. That's why I think I mentioned the other day. Someone put on a thread. This guy had a $1.3 million audience, or a million follower audience, and he held a meet and greet, and there wasn't one person that showed up.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that you can, if you build a loyal community, and they can see that in your content. Like, I feel like people can tell if you're genuinely trying to help them, or you like, there's more than it than just you trying to like make your money or whatever. I feel like people can get that vibe.
The number what a lot of people don't realize is if we're talking monetarily, there's there's actually very little correlation between number of followers and amount of money made. There's people with 10K followers that can make more than people with 500K.
Yeah,
I know people with millions of followers that don't know how to monetize it.
Yeah, it's funny going back to that thing where people keep making the videos like, oh, this person has this follower, they can use the 1% rule, whatever they do.
Mm-hmm.
So we could be monetizing that. That stuff's capped too, bro. I don't care what nobody says with that. That shit is stupid. But yeah, I feel like people nowadays, it's just so saturated, and I see so much of it. And I feel like too, like I feel like a lot of us have been numb now to like social media standards. Like I feel like people don't think certain physiques that were really cracked 3 years ago are like so average now. Yeah. And I feel like, or hitting like for me hitting my 315 bench, bro, people shit on me for that.
It didn't matter.
Well, I'll tell you what, like, bro. What? I'll tell you what, dude. Now this might be a bold statement, but I think we started a wave, bro. Because I remember going to the gym pre-COVID, and 5 p.m. on a Monday, there was a lot of people in there, but it wasn't like it is now. And I think we started a wave during COVID. I think and there was a bunch of creators. Now I'm not just saying us three, but there was a bunch of creators that were posting during COVID, and TikTok started going crazy, and we were, obviously like creating, which was exactly what we intended to do, to get more people into the gym, to get more people working out, just to show them what we do, our lifestyle. And it created a wave. And these kids at the time when we were posting and we were 21 years old, they were probably 16, 17. They were taking the gems from our content and doing what we did and started training at an earlier age than we did. And now come 3 years later, they're making insane progress. I think overall we did a good service.
No, absolutely. Yeah. As the kid that was the kid watching y'all, like I saw y'all during quarantine, like y'all were the reason that I started. It was you two. Mm-hmm. Alex and Hattie were both on top. Every time I scrolled through TikTok, it was you guys. And so as somebody that came through that generation, now looking at it now, it's just a big competition. It's like, who are we hopping onto next? Like, who is the big hot target now? And it's all just a big wave, and then it comes down, a wave and comes down. People just love to find the next person.
I think the important thing is the reason why you're doing it. So I'll tell you, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life, because I was working while I was doing TikTok, I was working. And one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my life was quit my job. And I think it was because I wanted to do this full time so bad, because I fell in love with, I wasn't making any money. I fell in love with the impact. And I thought that if I had more time outside of the job, I could make more of an impact. And it was one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make in my life, because it was the fear of other people's opinions that kind of held me back. I was like, oh, what's my dad going to think? I went to Stevens. I got a civil engineering degree. What are my classmates going to think? That, you're leaving a high-paying job, a high-ticket job, top white-collar engineering job to go post on the internet and make significantly less money at the time. But there was a belief that I had, and a desire that I had to impact more people. So I said, I'm going to take that risk. And I guess you could say, like, sometimes you have to let other people's dreams die for yours to live. And found myself in that position. My dream was, at the time, not to be a millionaire, but it was to impact more people and just be on a broader scale, people knowing me because I was able, not because I'm famous, or not because I do this or because I do it, but just because this kid helped me change my life. And I think when you operate on the mantra of trying to impact people in a positive way versus how can I make the most money, you could find more longevity and sustainability, and you can actually do this for a long period of time because you find fulfillment in the impact and not in the money. And I think there's a big difference there. When you find fulfillment in the money, when the money slows down or the money stops coming in, or if things don't go your way, at some time you find your value in the money versus the impact. So you got to think about impact. I think personally.
I feel like that the reason why we've lasted, I feel like lasting 3 years and staying relevant for 3 years
is difficult.
It's hard.
It's hard to get on, but it's even harder to stay on.
Think about how many people when we used to go to Zoo Culture in LA who you don't hear of at all anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's so much. I'm blessed to say that we've lasted this long, and I think a big reason is for you. It's your like motivational aspect and stuff. I feel like for me, I've always been really open about like my Christian faith and whatnot, and I feel like that. I always say it's deeper than just lifting weights, and I feel like that's what's allowed us to stay around a little bit in the mix of like fitness, is because
I'll tell you what else it is.
It's deeper than that.
I'll tell you what else it is. It's the quality of being unstoppable. In that moment when your car breaks down, your girlfriend leaves you, you're running out of money, everything's going wrong, and you feel like, yo, it's over for me. It's the ability in that moment to say,
to push through it.
It's the ability in that moment to say, like, I'm not gonna let this stop me. When your world feels like it's ending, and you're able to say, I'm gonna push through this. I'm gonna find a way through this. I'm gonna find a way out. I think those are the like kind of life defining moments. And but I guess the ultimate point of it is like, what do you do when that pressure's on? And the best way for any of you guys to go about it when there's anything going on in your life, when you're having serious problems, is look at the problems, brace your face, and say like, if I get hit, I get hit, but I'm always gonna hit back. And getting hit is the only way to evolve. I don't think you would have evolved to the point you evolved had you not gone through that. It's critical. It was critical for you.
You gotta just push through it, bro. That's just how it always is.
I mean, I could speak firsthand. Like I went through probably the worst experience of my life this past summer, with my dad passing, and I think the biggest thing that I learned from that experience is that even though my world stopped, or what felt like my world stopped, I had to find a way to keep going. While everybody else's world just kept moving forward, I had to find a way to keep going. And so whenever you're going through things that you feel like are life determining, or making you feel like you can't pull your feet out the mud, there's always something out there. There's always a branch you can cling on to. There's always somebody that's gonna, be like, okay, yo, let's do this. We got this. Like you have people around you, and if you don't, I promise you, there's more people out there than you can imagine that are willing to help if you just ask.
Yeah, bro.
And when you're in that situation, you kind of accept your responsibility as a man. I haven't gone through that, so I can't speak on it. But what I will say is, like, I'm sure you've gone through it where it's like, okay, well, now everybody's relying on me.
Yeah.
Everybody's relying on me, and I have to take my role, and I have to do what I got to do, and I have to put on a smile for everybody else, because if I don't put on a smile, then if I'm sad, everybody's going to be sad with me. But if I could put on a smile, then maybe everybody from the outside in can I'm going to be, try to be a savior for everybody, and you got to play that role. And, as a life.
That's the role of a hero.
Yeah, that's the role of a hero. And when you watch any hero movie, 80% of the time, 80% of the movie, they're suffering,
They're
right?
suffering, yeah.
And then it's the end where they get to become the hero. So you just got to go through the suffer. You got to go through the suck. And
I feel like, it's just, obviously it's easier said than done, but I always just use like the tunnel analogy. Like if you're in a really deep tunnel, like train tunnel, you really can't see like the light on the other side at all. But as you get closer and closer to it and you keep trekking forward, it gets brighter, brighter, and brighter until you're on the other side. So it's just like simple as that, bro. And again, like you're always in control of your actions. You might not be in control of your emotions. So I might wake up one day feeling like I'm upset, down bad, depressed, like I would. Those days I would feel stressed. I just wanted to stay in bed and sleep to avoid it. Yeah. Right? But I was in control of my actions. And by doing so, I realized that, and I was like, all right, I'm still going to go to the gym. I'm still going to film this video. I'm still going to post this picture today. That's the way I had to go about it. And like, that's true for anything in life. Like, you can't control your emotions all the time, the way you feel about certain things. You're always in control of the way you react to it. And then once you react to something, then your emotions will end up following. If that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you are extremely depressed inside in life, but you force yourself to go out on a walk, to enjoy the world, to try and find dopamine and different things, to set goals, eventually the emotions will come and you'll feel happier and joyful again. So.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing when everything is going wrong is to hear keep working hard, but that's also the only thing you can hear. It's the only solution is to keep working, right?
Yeah.
So when things get hard and people tell you like, oh, you got to keep working hard, it's such a hard thing to hear. It's like, I've already been working hard. I've already been busting my ass, and now I got to deal with this. And the only solution in that moment is to continue working hard, because sometimes the storm is a little bit longer than you expected, and you just gotta go through it, bro. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. It's for everybody.
Sometimes that storm isn't as big as we make it, because like you can often get caught up with everybody giving you praise. Like I've experienced it, I'm sure you guys have as well, where everybody's just like, yo, you're doing great from the outside looking in. Yo, you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. Then when you get home and look at that man in the mirror, you don't feel anything. You don't feel like you're accomplishing anything.
I had that
anything at all.
Oh my Lord, like last few months when I've been down bad a little bit, I had that for a minute. It was like the meet and greets I was becoming more numb. I remember in the beginning when we would do meet and greets, it was like I felt so validated after, and then like this last one we had, I was already down bad kind of mentally during it behind the scenes, and it was like the people were telling me like, oh, you changed my life, you brought me to God, you helped me with this, and I didn't feel like I did that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I didn't feel that. It was different. It was different than the other ones, and yeah, I'm better now. I was just going through it at the time. I needed to get right with God again. Yeah. Which that's keep me centered so much. But I can always tell, like, especially social media is very hard on you mentally, spiritually. Yeah,
social media is very godless.
Very. So like I can always tell when my faith is lacking a little bit, and I'm not really trying to dedicate my relationship with God as much. I can tell that my mental goes to absolute dog water. Yeah. Like, and then when I get close to God again, first off, my concept becomes better because I'm more joyful in my content. I'm more open to trying to help others because I already have helped myself. It's like Versus when I'm down bad, it's like I still have to worry about trying to help myself first before I'm helping others. But I can always, like, when I go to do my next Lions Den podcast, like the Christian one, I'm gonna spit so much fire words from the Lord, just because I'm in that mindset already. Versus before, it was like trying to force it and come up with it, if that makes sense. Now, like, it's gonna be off the dome and I'll be spitting, like I already know, because I'm in that mindset now, like that positive one.
Well, I think, you know, within the industry that we've planted ourselves in, there's so many godless tendencies that float around. It's very easy to get caught up in what's not right. You know, it's very easy to get lost in who you're not and who you're trying to become rather than who you actually are and the foundation that you've built yourself on. And I've been a victim of it. You know, I've been caught up in things that I probably shouldn't have been caught up in, thinking about things or, you know, moving certain ways. When all along, you know, if I just recentered my focus and got closer to my creator, you know, things would have been a lot more.
There's no
steady.
time in today's day and age. There is no time in today's day and age to be weak in your faith. Turn to God, because when you were down and you found a way out, it was God that saved you. When you were crying and you thought there was no way out, when you were going through this or going through that and you finally made it through, God saved you. When you were in positions where you never thought you could make it out, I can name 100 scenarios in my life where I thought it was over for me. I could tell 100 stories, and then God helped me through. I would pray, and then when I would pray, I would feel the feeling of peace. I would feel the feeling of having hope, and that keeps you alive, bro. That keeps you going. There's so much bullshit in the world right now.
People need to have something to submit to, too. I feel like everyone tries to become their own God, be in control of everything. And that's also what kind of, I think, was giving me like a little bit of anxiety and depression again, was I was trying to become too much in control of the numbers of whether it's engagement, finances, whatever it may be, versus when I'm closer to God, I'm submitting to God. It's God's will be done over mine. And there's something in that letting go that just gives you peace. It gives you peace because you're giving it to the Creator and you're entrusting someone other than yourself that you believe that His plan will be done regardless of whatever your input is. Doesn't mean you don't try working like harder or whatnot. You still should continue to work, but you can tell when you're trying to be your own God and you're trying to have control of everything. Sometimes you just need to learn to let go a little bit and let go.
You lose your mind. You lose your mind. I know exactly. I can relate so deeply to what you're talking about.
I was tweaking over this Elysium job. We just had a huge Black Friday. It's still live. You guys want to check it out? Up to 50% off. But I was tweaking going into it a little bit, and then I prayed and I asked God just for the job to be successful, obviously. But then I said, if it is in your, I always end prayers like that. If it is in your will. When I used to pray like what is it, affirmations for like financial freedom and whatnot, I would always end it with like asking God, if it is in His will, let it be done. Because if God doesn't will for me to have, you know, a really, a well-off life, then I accept that and I submit to that. But you know, I entrust in God's plan. Whatever His plan is for me, whatever entails and involves, I trust that He will always first provide for me. Will give me peace and joy to endure whatever He throws my way. And that to me is enough, and all you need to go through life. So,
in Arabic, we say the phrase "Inshallah" before we proclaim any future endeavor, because the only things that are guaranteed in this life are guaranteed if the Lord wills it. And you can't attack any obstacle, you can't go through any challenge in life, triumph or tragedy, without putting God first. And you know, there's often times where you'll find yourself not believing because life has gotten so heavy on your shoulders and it's burdened you so much to the point where you don't feel like God is there anymore. But that is when you need to believe in God the most. You can go through literally anything, death of a family member, loss of all finances, whatever the scenario is, but God is always there to pull you out of it. God brought you to where you could be, and He can bring you to wherever you want to be as long as you put faith in Him. And you know, like I said, within this industry that we're in, it's very easy to get caught up in the godless tendencies of, you know, just clout and social media and just getting lost. And whatever realm you're in, you know, if you're ever lost, just know that, you know, if you turn back to God, He'll always come back running towards you, no matter how far you've strayed away from Him. So,
well, we did get a little off track from the fitness industry, but I hope you guys enjoyed that whole aspect of all of that. But going back to the whole fitness industry thing changing, I feel like now we can give our more of our experiences with it. But I remember when, you know, like a lot of people try to say like influencers and like the whole money thing, bro. I don't think people realize us staying on Raw Gear for so long, like we were loyal, bro. If we really cared about only money in this game, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would have This is no disrespect to Bradley, bro. I freaking love
if
him.
it wasn't for loyalty, I would have made a lot more money. If it wasn't
So
for
much more. I hope you guys
character,
understand this. We stayed.
yeah.
I was on Raw Gear. We were around the same time. It was like 2
2
years.
we went
2 years.
we went at the same time and kind of left at the same time.
Yeah. And
so
we had opportunities to leave whenever we wanted to. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't about the money. It was more about like we had a good bond with him. We had a good relationship with him, and we believed that things were gonna be certain type of way, for example, and we stayed with it for a very long time. And I wouldn't say I regret anything because, like I said, it really wasn't about the money. It was more about just doing what I thought or what we thought was right at the time.
I think maybe if we left a little bit earlier, it would have been a little better. Not even just for the money thing, but because of like I think like the direction of
the way it went. But
yeah, it was just I don't know like what we're allowed to say because I'm not trying to like shit on anybody at all, and that's not what I'm doing. Love Brad, love it, love everything, loved Raw Gear. It's just I felt like it was going towards it was more of like seeing from a distance the cool shit that everyone else was having and like
FOMO.
enjoying it, and then like FOMO, and then two like realizing is also that where we were at wasn't all that we thought it was.
yeah,
Like we were staying for reasons that we probably shouldn't have stayed for.
yeah,
It was like loyalty that wasn't really loyalty. It was loyalty, but like it wasn't like I feel like
reciprocated.
yeah, it was like they really were, you know what I mean. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just being honest.
If we're looking at let's take it away from that situation. Just talk about it in a broader sense and a more nuanced sense. In this game, my friends, if this is something you're gonna get into, you will learn soon enough that you are a number.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you are a
Oh
number
hell yeah.
to any company that you join, no matter what they tell you, unless you have some different type of bond with them. But I will tell you, you are just a number. If you provide for them, they will provide for you. If you, by chance, stop providing for them, your value to them decreases significantly because you are just a number. You are just the number of sales that you could produce a month, no matter where you go. Yeah. Now, obviously, if you develop bonds with these people over time, it's different. But if you stop holding up your end of the bargain for any reason, then I'm sure their end of the bargain was you're chopped. You're chopped, bro. You're chopped.
So
You're as a man in this world, no matter what it is that you do, whether it's in the fitness industry or if it's anywhere else, you are only as good as what you can provide. If you can provide, you will be valued. If you cannot provide, you will not be valued. You will never get your credit in this life as a man. You will never get your flowers until you're in your grave. Because as a man, that's just what happens. That's the way the world is. And you just got to deal with it and continue to be a man, bro. That's just what it is. I'm trying to sugarcoat shit to not be. No, we are all numbers. We're just a fucking number. If you can provide, you will be loved. You will be appreciated. People will tell you they appreciate you. The minute you stop providing, then guess what, brother? You will become a nobody again. People you won't hear yo. I hope you're doing okay. People only care about you when you can do something for them. And what I will say is try to just be it. Now, not knowing that as a person, try to just be a person who doesn't look into that when you're building relationships with people. Build relationships with people based on things other than what they can provide for you.
That's why we have to like. You guys don't know like the codes stuff like that's how we make our like living. And I ain't going to be working at a Starbucks or something, so that's why we had to like work our asses off to promo it a lot. We've been complaining a lot this week, bro. We've had like as influencers, social media, whatever, and all like our sponsors. There's like Black Friday deals right now. So we've been talking about how much we've been having to promote. It feel bad.
We have contractual obligations.
Yeah,
that's what it is. And
it's like so many at once because everyone's having the deals. They want you to do something, and it's like I feel like I'm shoving stuff down y'all's throat, and I apologize for that. I'm sure you do.
Yeah. I mean, apologizing. Yeah, of course.
It's not. I mean,
it's part of the job. It's just.
I just hope they don't see us as a walking billboard.
I think more of the issue comes when it just feels like just everybody's competing to get people to use their codes, and then other people just shit on other people so that you can use their code versus yours.
Yeah, it's stressful. It's to compete against everybody on everybody,
and then you're held to a standard like you're expected to sell this much because you have. You sold this much, and it just, it gets overwhelming. But at the same time, like, beggars can't be choosers. I guess we chose.
We're still so blessed, bro.
Yeah, we chose to be in this position.
I'm so happy, like, bro. Oh my lord, dude, like, being out, Young LA compare. I don't even want to compare it to Rock because I feel that Young LA, bro, fired. Yeah. I was so hyped when I got to get on Young LA, bro,
and they treat us really good. I mean,
they do, bro.
Like, Gary will just.
Gary's
You know what matters, bro. As in this world, all we need sometimes is just a little bit of encouragement. That's what men need.
It's
somebody
just
to
going,
believe
it's
in.
going the extra mile too, though.
It's just someone telling you like, yo, you did good. You did good this month, or thank you for going so hard. Gary texted me the other day, said thank you for the work you put in.
Gary does a good job at that,
and it just makes me feel appreciated. It's like, oh, yo, brother, I enjoy working for you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for that. Thank you for just making me feel that, because I'll tell you what, in the past, and this is just, like, nobody's ever texted me saying I appreciate you for doing my job, you know? So hearing that from an owner, CEO, is nice, bro. And it's not like you got any bonus, you got nothing.
Bro,
all they have to do is say thank you. Like, I appreciate you.
Dude,
that's all you need to hear.
He would offer some weird description. He would just offer me, like, if I needed even somewhere to stay, bro. Like, no one's ever done that, like, to me. Like that, yeah. Young LA, great people, bro. Good people over there, man. They got a big Black Friday sale, so if you guys want to go support 30% off, you can use code Alex. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Here we go again. This is like programmed. I saw a meme. It was like the world's going to shambles, influencers, and it's like buy Betty's cookbook. You can use code. And then everyone's like, what do you think about XYZ issue? Use my code.
Am I wrong in saying that the whole code era is kind of going in a different direction as of late? Like, I feel like people are starting to complain about it, at least that I've seen. Like, in comment sections, I'll look at stuff like, oh, I don't know, they're just like, oh, you got to use code this, you use code that. Like, it's almost like mockery. Like, I saw these TikToks where people were saying, like, oh, this is so alpha line code, something, this. And it's just like, they're making satirical comments, but.
Yeah, I think
It is funny. It is
funny.
It is outside in when you're, like, constantly.
Because now there's so many of them.
Yeah.
So everyone's like.
Hundreds of people with a code now.
Like, there's, like, the world could literally be burning. It's like, okay, well, I got to post a story today. Like, hey, guys, Superhuman Core is dropping today.
Yeah. No, honestly.
Great pre-workout. Code Hattie.
Code Hattie.
You know, it is funny, but I guess when you stand by products that you actually enjoy, it becomes easier to promote. And I think the place that we're at now, Young LA, is amazing. The clothes are actually really good. I'm sure any of you guys who bought them would really enjoy them. I like them a lot. It's a big. Let me hold that thought. It's very good, and
Alpha Line's great.
Alpha Line's
good
great.
Flavors,
There's different flavors.
Good variety of stuff. It's just a good overall brand.
It's good to push things that you actually believe in. I feel like I've been in some places before in the past where I was at places, and I'm not talking only about raw gear. I've been in a bunch of places where I maybe
even
like
supplement companies.
Yeah, even supplement companies where I didn't
screwed us over a bit.
Well, I didn't like as much, but I'm like, I still have to do my job though. You might not like your job, but you still have to show up every day.
Yeah.
But if you could find yourself in a place where
you don't really feel bad promoting something that you actually use and enjoy doing. It's more so when you have to force it.
It's more like I'm trying to put you on type of thing.
Yeah. Like for me, I use more of Alpha Line supplements when I'm cutting, and because I haven't been cutting, I haven't been like, it's been sucked because I haven't been able to like promote the stuff because I like taking Burn 2.0, not in stock. I like taking the what's it called? The bro, isn't there something else that's out of stock?
Greens.
Yeah, the greens for my stomach was helped me hella. That's out of stock too. It's like the stuff that I was like constantly posting on my story every day. They don't have in stock now, which sucks. And I take it for cutting. But yeah, man. What else can we yap about with this? Fitness is great. Social media, I'm blessed. I hope that people don't think we're complaining. I don't think we.
No, this is we're just talking, guys.
This is talking out loud about everything.
Really observational. That's really all it is.
Yeah, because they'll be like, bro, you shouldn't be complaining. You have all these followers. You get to have this, and that. You shouldn't ever even be.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
no, I don't think we're complaining. I think we're just talking about. I mean, bro, anybody from the outside in that's been in this game for a while can see how significantly different the industry is now. I think when we started, it was a much more supportive community. I think it's a lot more toxic now.
It was so much love back then. We used to do like the rating followers physique challenges. I used to play Among Us with my like followers on TikTok. Like it was just a small knit community of a few. Like it was like me, you, Flores Fit, Riser, Justin Martini. Who else, bro? Who else? Clark. Brandon Clark, yeah, bro. It was like a few of us. Maybe we had the Rise House, J-Lam. Like that era was. And we would make TikToks, and like everyone, it was like such a small niche of people, and we all were on each other's algorithm, and it was so lit back then. Like the challenges, vein check. I remember when I went viral for doing a stomach vacuum. They posted me on Overtime. I was on my little Instagram live with 30 people, and we were geeking over how I was put on Overtime. Like back then, bro, dude, that shit ain't like that anymore, bro. It's just constant physiques, people shitting on each other now.
Yeah, it's just I think. you have to try to look at it from, you're in it, so it's you kind of got to look at it from like the outside in and like what exactly has changed. And I think it's more of just like back then, because it wasn't as saturated, all of this stuff was fresh to people, right? It was all fresh, it was all cool. Like,
and it was
just,
COVID too.
like just doing a vacuum in general like had people shook. There's no way he could do that. How did he do that? Now, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like everybody's doing it. It's regular. So, like I said earlier, it's just I think it's because it's so saturated and you're consuming a lot of the same content over and over again. Some type of workout edit, the words on the screen with some motivational shit, and it's just dry. You know, it's just dry.
I like, and actually I don't give a fuck if you feel a certain way about this or not. I hate that kind of content. I hate it.
Yeah,
like the words on the screen. Like there's a time and a place for it. Certain things, if you switch it up, make it a little creative. But if you just take quotes, put them on a screen, put videos in the background, you are nothing but a template. You are nothing but a template.
Yeah, that's not gonna build a following.
It's not. If you don't speak, you don't show who you are.
Yeah, you gotta have like the personality. Like I've been thinking too. Like I need to bring back. Like I just posted. It's not doing good at all. Like a video of me talking about like a verse I read.
Yeah.
Like just talking videos of people seeing me as Alex Eubank. Or, like I need to do more where I used to reply to I used to always reply to comments. Remember how like we would just
reply to comments with a
talk,
video, talk.
And it would just do. I need to do more of that. I've been feeling that because I feel like I almost got caught in the wave of just doing like edits and whatnot. Because like I have people and
you have to try to like what I will say is like you have to try your best. Now like I understand for some people like they'll post a video with the words on the screen. I mean, bro, do what you want to do. You know, if that's
and some of them still do work.
And the thing is, people probably do that a lot because that's what's getting them views. Like they might try to post something else and it's not working, but that type of video works. What I will tell you though is, like I said, like you could build a huge audience just doing videos like that because they might work, right? Yeah. And you might get caught in that type of algorithm of people that like that video. But there's no sustainability, bro. People gotta know you for you. At least I try my best to show like through the training and through what I love to do to try to show personality and character and some type of grit and some type of like mentality and share like some type of wisdom, you know, like everything you go through in life you learn from it, right? And I try to just share that with my audience. I try to treat it like it's a family of people that's
what you have to do. You have to treat it like a family. And like I've been getting to this point where I've been in the industry for a hot minute, so now instead of trying to just reach like, because I feel like I've reached the whole
you did, bro. You reached
U.S. like our demographic. I don't feel like there's any more people who I could like reach, and I say that humbly. I'm not saying like everybody knows me.
They've all seen you in one way.
It's
they
like
might
they've seen my face.
They know you. They know.
But
they know.
I'm
trying.
trying.
They call you Alex or Andrew. They know you one way or another.
Yeah, I'm trying to make more of a they say like cult like following. Where, for example, last night I spent 30 minutes in my Discord VC just talking to some of the random dudes in chat, having a great time talking to them. Some of them are really good. First off, I want to say real quick, I have one of the best supporting fan bases out of the fitness industry, purely because I feel like I have the good boys. When I say that, I say like I have like the good dudes, like the good wholesome religious kids.
Because you have
who,
positive content.
Yeah, I don't have like the dudes just like injecting in their shoulder every freaking day and taking Tadalafil, freaking Viagra, taking a whole. Me and Hattie saw this video the other day. I think he starts a brand. I'm not trying to shit on. I don't like shitting on people, but we saw this like video of a homeboy had 2 droppers he put in his mouth, 4 pills, and injected steroids into his shoulder for a pre-workout. And I was like, bro's taking an entire drugstore for pre-workout. And I was like, I remember we used to be able to have Scoop C4. We used to have a can of Red Bull, and that was all we needed to get a banging workout in. And I was like, bro, what kind of content is this? It's so openly accepted now. The whole gear thing is crazy. But anyways, I'm getting off track. Building a cult like following, because I spent 30 minutes in that. Then I went live on TikTok for an hour, talked to people. I even said a prayer for like a TikTok chat, and then I did an hour on Twitch, engaging. I only might have like 100 people in my stream, but it's engaging with those people who are willing to watch me and sit down and watch me that I want to have a deeper connection with because I appreciate them for that. And that shit's fulfilling. I'm not gonna lie, it's so much more fun me spending my time doing that with a very small amount of people than me trying to find some clickbait ass like video. Like that's where my mindset's changed a little bit.
Talk about this person or that person to like
get views,
or talk about them in a negative way.
It's fun.
I just hate that. I hate seeing people talk about other people and then you kind of know, being in the industry, what their deeper intention is behind that. You actually don't even hate that person. You know how many people have made videos about us over the years and then you'd see them in person and like I'd pull up ready for smoke. Like I'm like, you was talking all that shit on the internet. And now we're here And I'll walk up and they'll be like, yo, bro, just want to let you know, dude, you know it's all content, right? Like, I don't really feel that way. And
It's so stupid,
and it's
bro.
just
like,
so-
what?
it's
Then
just
don't
like-
make the content if it's just like, I don't get that.
yeah, well, it's just, bro, it's because people are so desperate for views. This is the problem with the world. I'll tell you what the problem is for the world right now. People cannot validate themselves. They don't have God in their life, so they don't get validation from God. There's no self-validation because they can't validate themselves. So the only way they get validated is when people are liking and commenting on their shit. It makes them feel good about themselves. It gives them that dopamine rush, and then they constantly chase that, and they will do whatever it takes to constantly get that over and over and over and over again. You have to find real purpose in your life. You have to find real validation, and the only people that can validate you are yourself and God. When you look at the mirror at the end of the day and you look at yourself and you say, I did everything I can today to get better, I prayed, I spoke to God, I did everything, you'll feel good about yourself. You won't feel the need for other people to tell you that you're doing good. You don't need that. You know what I'm saying? And you don't need to talk about other people to be relevant enough to feel like you're important. You can build a community. You can build a base just being yourself.
I really
just be
don't
your
like.
motherfucking
I don't
self,
really
you know?
don't like the react. That the one thing I will say like that I do have like an opinion on is like the reaction content. Like even on TikTok, like people who make content reacting to people who actually make the content. Like so people who will sit there at a desk and react to like us doing something or saying something
and just shit on us.
and then shit on us, or give their input.
Because
and then
like
that video
because
just
them-
my head
it's,
there for a
it's
second.
drama. They're just pulling for views off like that. I don't like that type of content. I made one the other day, but it was a positive one. I did one on Logan Paul talking about Jesus. Like that was my first reaction type of video ever. But I'm doing it in like a positive way. I'm trying to put a spin on it. I'm not gonna go shit on someone or cause beef or drama just to get views and clicks. To me,
What
that's
do you
not
think about
sustainable.
that, by the way? Like, so there was point in time where, like, even Sneeko's like converted to Islam and all these things.
Yeah.
And then even Logan Paul, he was like not shitting on Christianity or he was like shitting on religion, I guess you could say.
Yeah, with
George Janko
with
and all
George
that
on
stuff.
that
Yeah.
podcast. When
So
he was
how
like
do you feel
frying
that now there's a switch? Do you feel it's good-hearted? Do you feel it's good intentions? Or
I believe everybody's created in the image of God, and everybody knows deep down somewhere when it gets down to it, and you have everything you think that you wanted or had in the world, and it doesn't fulfill you, that you end up always going back to knowing that there's something more than that. And I think that's what that he had. I think Logan's had everything in life, and he's experienced every single pleasure, had all the money, whatever, but he's still left with like something is missing. And I think he'll think back to maybe his talks with George and whatnot, because I know George planted the seed and revealed stuff to him. And I think it was wholehearted. I think he actually thought about it and is considering it, which I think is amazing.
I would hope so. I hope you don't use religion for like
clout.
Yeah.
I'm being honest, like I've struggled with that. Sometimes I've been points in my life where, because I became the Christian guy, there's been times where my faith wouldn't be good, and I felt like I almost had to post about it to help others or for the content. And there's times where I'll make sure to ask God for discernment of when I'm going to post something and say, God, like, let this be for you. And for who you're trying to touch, like, not be just for people to like, oh, I like Alex because he's a Christian. Like that's I never, because then I feel like that's a sin to me. Like if I'm trying to get growth or money because of God, like that to me just don't feel right. Like I don't want that. And I've said this even in a podcast before, when or on Snap, I'll spit about some Christian thing, and then I'll post be like, don't look to me as being someone who's helping you out with this. I'm not perfect whatsoever. I'm still dealing with stuff. Don't like praise me for being open about my faith. Like I'm just you all should be open about your faith, bro. I'll be open about it. It calls you to do that. Like don't just hide about it. Everyone should be like that. It's not me being out of the ordinary. I'm doing what any other person should do. So like I hate when they try and be like, oh, I'm gonna go support Alex even more because he's a Christian. I don't like that concept. Like you should support me just because you want to support me, not because of you know what I mean. So I want to put that out there.
I think it is a good thing that you express it though, because like I said, we live in a godless society. We live in a godless space, and it's very hard to find people within this space that put God first or have some sort of moral foundation under them.
Bro, these kids too, like this is getting into more like controversial shit, I feel like, but like these kids, I feel like, and all of them like hopping on gear or SARMs, whatever, at such a younger age now, I feel like they think that lifting is literally all that life is about. And I had the same when I was like 17, 18, I was in that mindset. Lifting, video games, I was like a freaking goofball meathead. That's all I did.
Because you think, because when you're that age, I mean, I was the same.
You get the validation from it too, though, low key. That's what kind of triggers it.
When you're that age, right? Looking back on when I was starting training and I remember gym. Like I used to go 3 times a day. I remember getting up during the summer, like when we were all from school. I remember going 3 times a day, and I thought I was like, okay, you might even see people on the internet, right? You might look on your phone, you see Alex Eubank, right? Look, he's driving this car, he's living this life, and he makes fitness content. It's all because of his physique. If I look like that, I'll live like that, right? How can I get there as soon as possible?
Gear, steroids.
And realistically, bro, you might look like that and never touch that level of success. You might look like that.
Bro, there's been people who looked so much better than us, and they weren't able to get the type of following that we've been able to build. And that's like, I feel like so much people are just concerned with that. Like, just get big as possible, get bigger than your friends, stronger than your friends and those around you on social media. Then that, like, for some reason, like, validates you. It's weird. It's so weird to me. Like, I don't get that. That's too with the negativity. I feel like it's coming from this industry. It's like it's all about comparison rather than like lifting people up. Like,
if you're gonna look, dude, we're nobody to tell you whether you should hop on gear or not. I mean, that's obviously an individual decision, and trying to control everybody is something that I've found to come over the years is more like is impossible. What I will say is this: look at a lot of you could look at the whole industry in general. Do you see how many fitness influencers who in the beginning were all about training, going to the gym a lot, and now they're still influencers, but you see them going to the gym once a week maybe. They don't even like training anymore. They don't enjoy it. Bodybuilding's not for them. You don't make permanent life decisions when you're in the valley. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Do not make decisions for your life when you are not when you're in a place where your decision might come from stress or feeling unfulfilled. Don't make permanent life decisions in those situations, okay? Because hopping on and using performance enhancing drugs, whether you're gonna do it or not, okay, but it is actually like a lifelong decision. You actually are impacting you for life. You may never be able to get back to your normal test levels. You might have side effect issues. If you're not getting blood work, you might have even bigger issues. If you're not doing it safely, you might have big issues. So don't make permanent life decisions when you're in a moment when you want something so bad that you don't even know if you want yet. You know what I mean?
There's a post that Matt Ogus, you know him, remember him?
Yeah.
He made, bro, and I'm trying to find it, and it was so like real to honestly speaking to that. I think he was talking about his physique and how long he's training his entire life, and he was saying something about how like something like how it wasn't worth it, or like how I need to find it, bro. It was so good. And I wanted to make a reaction video literally just to that because it was like this dude's lifted his entire life. I forgot how old he is now. He's a father of 3 kids, bro. He's got to be freaking pushing it. What's November? What month are we in?
November.
Bro, I need to find it. Oh, here it is. The older I get, the more developed my physique and strength gets, and the more I realize so much of this just doesn't even matter. In the grand scheme of your life, thinking looking a certain way or being able to lift certain weight or winning a trophy will fill the void you think exists. It's just a future realization waiting to occur. The realization that a lot of this day-to-day stress doesn't matter. You're going to die one day. You'll laugh at the pettiness of what you thought was serious, and on your deathbed, you're probably not going to be thinking of your physique when you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. A physique doesn't necessarily create a legacy or love or happiness or contribution or fulfillment. Arnold on his deathbed won't be thinking of his physique. He'll probably be thinking of his family. This isn't just to say waste of time. It's a waste of time to work out or want to have abs. Not at all. Improving your health and strength can help you live a happier and longer life. Yeah. So he's yapping about all that. But that like when I read that, I was like, bro, I feel like that's like a thing with a lot of people is they kind of think here and now rather than like long term. And I always try to say again, going back, it's deeper than just lifting weights. I try and tell everybody this, like, instead of asking your friend, yo, like, what is your bench? Ask them, how is your faith doing? How are you doing mentally? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, ask things that's deeper. Like, I don't give a shit what you bench. Oh man,
they're gonna clip that.
Huh?
They're gonna clip that. What? Instead of asking your friend how much he benches, I'm asking about his faith.
Yeah, because it's
That's
just
true.
like it's
That's
so
true.
much like life is so much deeper than that. Why are you if you truly love or care about someone, why compare that? Like, build each other up faithfully and stuff like that. And I feel like people are so concerned with the numbers game too, and it's just
yo, bro, let's be realistic. People who are like super gym bros, this is why they get roasted a lot, because there's nothing to them outside of the gym, and it's because they found all of that validation they never had in the gym. And just I think dude, that post is real because like I would consider myself, I've been training for a long time, and to this day I love training. I enjoy it. I look forward to it every single day. But I love my family more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Like I love like when I talk to my friends, we never talk about what we're training, what we're benching or what we're like. Like, oh, how much did you weigh this morning? Yo, it's
Camera's about to die.
there's more to life than that. So
This is an hour.
yeah, we could go.
This was an hour. I feel like we've sat for like 2 hours.
Hour. What?
I don't know. I felt longer than.
I felt like it's been only like 30 minutes. Appreciate y'all. Yo, Black Friday drop. Code Alex if you 30% off. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And Elysium up to 50% off. Show some love. Check it out. Huh?
Word, yeah, say that louder.
Don't do that, bro. Don't freaking do it. Don't freaking do it, bro. All right, love you guys. God bless each and every one of y'all. Till next time. Peace out.